The announcement of measures to end rolling blackouts has also been welcomed by stakeholders in the liquefied natural gas and clean energy sector. For more on this, I'm joined by Aldworth Mbalati. He's the CEO of DNG Energy, and he joins me in studio. Thank you very much, Aldworth, for joining us. So just give us your initial impressions of the announcement that was made by the President. Very comprehensive indeed.
Very comprehensive, and I want to say thank you to the President, his team of advisors, and those who stood up and lent a helping hand in terms of ensuring that we have a positive change in the energy space. The fact that our President has heed the call and literally opened up the floodgates for potential growth in this country, it is quite commendable. And as I was thinking earlier on, I don't think that those who play in the energy space can now say that we are blaming government. I mean, the President has put the ball back squarely into our court and said, let everyone that is able to provide energy, provide energy. Let us stand together and solve this crisis that we are seeing. I mean, one of the things that I would have loved to hear from the President yesterday was for him to say that all those renewable companies that already have installed capacity, calling them up to say, please come and maximize your capacity and bid and put more power into the grid, because that is one of the low-hanging fruits that I believe can help South Africa get on a steady footing in the next year or so.
Well, we know that one of the announcements that he did make was indeed that Eskom is going to be procuring even that much more energy from independent power producers and private sector producers, which is positive. And obviously the bid windows are also going to be extended, or at least the latest bid window is going to be extended so that they get double the capacity. So no doubt they're going to be knocking on the door there.
No doubt, that's for sure. That is for green projects, meaning that these are projects that have not broken ground.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about those projects that some people are producing 70 megawatts, but can extend their facilities to 90 megawatts, for example. The land is already there. They're already on the grid. They're just increasing their capacity. Their levelized cost in terms of getting into the market is quick. So that is a low-hanging fruit. Those are the people that they should not be forgetting, because it will help us a lot in terms of improving our current scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're in the liquefied natural gas space. You operate in South Africa and other African countries. Just tell us about the significance of LNG and what traction it has in South Africa so far.
Look, as DNG, we believe that we're there to serve, and our niche is natural gas. We've imported the first LNG consignment last year, and we continue to do so. And one of the industries that we have focused on is the trucking industry. And we've got a few trucks on the road that are running on LNG today. The savings are superb. One of our customers is saving 38% in terms of their fuel bill. But those savings comes with something very phenomenal. They come with zero sulfur oxides, zero nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. They come with 60% less fuel emissions, and the engine lasts longer, so it reduces your maintenance costs. So those are the benefits that gas brings into industry. And when it comes particularly to our energy scenario, is that it brings an element of dispatchability or supporting renewables in order for us to have a stable grid over a 24-hour period. In other words, when there's no sun, gas kicks in. When there's no wind, gas kicks in. And that allows us to push our climate goals in terms of making sure that we contribute to society in a positive manner. So it becomes that backstop in terms of supporting industry, in terms of growing renewables. And on top of that, it becomes one of those fuels that allows us to transition into a zero carbon future. By having LNG at play, it allows you to train people for a future economy of hydrogen.
Yes.
And allows you to start building infrastructure for the tomorrow economy. So LNG is for today, and it plays a very big role in terms of making sure that our dreams of having a green environment is sustainable.
Yeah. But then part of the problem is that we import LNG. What about creating capacity within the country? What's the prospect there?
Look, the prospects are phenomenal. I mean, we have seen the advent of shale. We've got
Which is controversial.
Which is controversial. A lot of things are controversial. I just believe that if we sit down and really understand how things work and how to apply it or have best practice, I think there can be a solution. We've got plenty of resources such as coal bed methane. People are advocating a move away from coal. However, the coal resource is a very good example in terms of how we can extract gas out of that, and meaning that you have a cleaner fuel that you can use in the system. So South Africa has great potential. And if we cut the red tape, so I would implore the president to say that the same scissors that you've used in deregularizing the electricity sector is the same scissors that you must use in terms of making sure that the extractive industry becomes liberalized. And I believe that we can get to a point of energy independence.
Aldworth, thank you very much for your time and for joining us in studio. That was Aldworth Mbalati. He's the CEO of DNG Energy. We'll have more news for you after a short break.